Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Do you remember Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Silver and gold, silver and gold. Well, meet Yukon Mary. So, you probably saw a couple videos where I started restoring this. And I got so into this that I spent days and days and days, hours and hours and hours working on this machine. And I decided, because as you could see, all the decals are silver, and a little bit more about that in a moment. Um, and it has a gold medallion that I was going to name it Yukon Mary for Yukon Cornelius and Mary, the previous owner of this machine. So what ended up happening was, as I was doing this machine, the clear coat was absolutely nasty. I mean, it was nasty. And as I was cleaning it, the polish and the compounds were going in underneath the shellac or whatever the heck it was. And it was bothering me so bad that I decided to take all the shellac off, which in itself wasn't terribly hard. It was time consuming. I just used alcohol and I got it all off. The side effects of that was the gold plating off of the silverback decals came off. And not only did it come off, but in some places it totally ruined the decals. So I spent days, when I say days, on and off, an hour here, an hour there, uh, with a literal two-haired paintbrush and a magnifying glass, and I repainted in all the decals. If you look here, um, I would say a good 40% of that was missing. The decal in the middle there, probably 60% of that was missing. Um, Over here in the corner, the whole corner was missing. I think it came out really nice. Is it 100% perfect? Absolutely not. Um, is it obviously not traditional because it doesn't have the gold? Obviously. But I think the silver looks absolutely awesome. Okay, so I did all of that, and I decided I was going back and forth with Howard from over at Cabot Bluegill. And again, brother, your information and your help is just, it was priceless. Thank you. Um, so I was saying to him, oh, should I use shellac or maybe I'll use lacquer or acrylic? And he's like, I'd use acrylic. So I kind of said, I'm going to use acrylic. And then what do I end up doing? I end up trying shellac, spray shellac, which was a disaster, an absolute disaster. It made all little wells and it really was bad. So I let that dry for a couple days and I removed it all again. And as I was removing it, it took off all of my scroll work. So all of that was for naught. And I was I was like, oh man, I'm not digging this. And in the interim, I had bought another 1591 that I thought was in better shape than this and ended up being in worse shape. I mean, the wiring of the motor was toasted. It was the grommet was melted, and um, yeah, the clear coat on that one was shot. The decals were shot. So I stripped that machine down and decided I was going to use it for some of the parts on this machine. I'm going to be doing a lot of yapping, by the way. um, there was some parts on this machine that I had to swap out, um, like this needle plate. The needle plate on the other one, the hole where the needle goes through, was totally corroded. This plate, the tension regulator, the regulator plate was toasted. Um, this nose plate was pretty bad shape. The tension assembly was pretty toasted. This for the bobbin winder tension, this was toasted. So there's a lot of parts in here. Um, I'm going to say maybe 5% of the parts that are in here were replaced with parts from the USA one, which I didn't have a problem with because this cabinet is actually made in the USA. This machine is made in Canada. I lost the made in Canada decals that was right here. That just totally disappeared. So I chose not to try to repaint that in because I had nothing to really go by. So yeah, what else? Oh, the light. I don't know if I'll be able to get back there. Let's see. I'm gonna be banging things. Bang, bang, bang. Come on now. If you could see it. Oh man, my video skills are just awesome. If you can see it, I painted Singer on it, and I did it in silver. Oh man! And I had to rewire this motor. I redid all the wiring. The foot controller that actually works with your knee is in here, and I extended the wire so that if I want, I could pop it out and use it on the floor as a regular foot pedal. What else did I do to this thing? Well, besides, I had to put a whole new, I had to repaint all the decals, which, so now that's twice I did that. And I used acrylic, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not coming out good. And it came out pretty decent up here on the, I guess is the neck, but the bed was just nasty. It was just nasty. So I said, well, I'm just going to put a bunch of coats on. There's probably like 8, 9 light coats of acrylic clear on there. And then I proceeded to sand it. And I sanded and I sanded and I sanded. And I wanted that many coats because I was really worried I was going to go right through the clear coat and start to sand off the decals. But I used 1,000 wet dry, and then I went to 1,500 wet dry, and then I went to 2,000 wet dry, and then I used a paint clarifying compound that I used on my lanterns, and I got to a point where I said, okay, I'm happy with it. Again, this is going to be my go-to user machine. I was very, very pleased with the way it came out. I am very, very pleased with the way it came out. I still got to do a little polish here and there, some spots I may have missed, but I was at the point where, hey, I'm going to test it out, and I'm definitely digging it. Let's see if we can give you a little shot of it working. Okay, well, that's not going to work because I got to get in front of it. Let's come over here. I just have this is shop towels, and it's, gosh, folded over like what? So we got once, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 layers. Check it out. Look at that stitch. Absolutely beautiful. Again, this machine was recommended to me by Howard, and Howard, yeah, it's everything you said it would be. I also got this stuff called Restore Finish. Let me get the can so I could show you. Amazing. I just followed directions, which is basically put it on a soft cloth, and I rubbed down this entire cabinet. Hopefully, you get a good view of it. Um, it came out absolutely beautiful. I didn't take out every little nick and spot. That's the character of it. But it looks beautiful, and I'm very, very pleased with it. Um, and like I was starting to say, I started recording every little thing I was doing, like this light, which I had to end up making a new contact. And I think the light video alone was over an hour. And I didn't even get to the part where I made the contact. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna just do everything. I'm cleaning everything. I took this whole front end apart, and again, it's basically similar to the 99 that I did. But this whole front part came apart. I took the needle bar out, the presser bar out, cleaned everything, put it all back together. Like I said, I rewired the motor, um, readjusted the bobbin winder, redid the light, had this whole assembly out, the tension assembly out, cleaned. Um, yeah, I mean, the actual mechanical parts of the besides the light were really not a lot of work because I was already used to it doing the 99. The real work and the real time, and it was a labor of love, was the cosmetics. As far as that goes, I didn't have to do any of that stuff. Well, besides doing the cleaning of the parts and oiling to have this machine working. Um, I didn't even have to rewire the motor, but I didn't like the way the person that did it was. They soldered the wire, which is cool, but they just had tape on it, and they really didn't do a great job soldering. So I redid the soldering, uh, added new wires, used shrink wrap, and it's just much, much cleaner. I did all my little terminal connections with those eyelets, so everything looks beautiful. And again, I'm so stoked. I'm so happy. I have one last thing to do to this cabinet. I have the Howard's uh, wax, which is, I believe, orange oil and beeswax. I'm going to put a coat of that on, and then this puppy is going inside. And I got to think of the first project I want to do. I don't know, maybe a wax canvas pouch or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so there it is. Totally stoked. Just came out beautiful, in my opinion. And again, I know it's not original, so to say, because I did swap some parts out. The made in Canada thing is gone. The gold leaf is gone. But I'll tell you what, right now I have a Yukon Mary and I'm totally loving her. Oh, yeah. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're happy I didn't have to put you through 17,235 videos. And again, if you're interested in rebuilding these machines, there's a ton of folks on the internet, specifically a guy named Andy Tube. If you look up, if you want to rebuild one of these 1591s, check out Andy Tube. He's got a ton of videos on ripping this machine apart and redoing everything. And also Bob Fowler. And if you're lucky enough to be friends with Howard, uh, Howard's a wealth of information. So there you have it. You know I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. I hope you enjoyed seeing Yukon Mary. I hope you all are doing well, and we'll see you on the next one.